Hi guys, Tracy and Das. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be recapping my favorite show, Married at First Sight Australia, season 13, episode 33, you guys. Ooh, I don't know what to do. I'm getting scared. It's coming to an end and I just can't handle it. Well, let's get started on this episode. It was super good and juicy. The final commitment ceremony is here. After lots of tests at the homestays, it's time to talk about it. Alyssa and David's cracks have been exposed because David hasn't spoken his truth throughout the experiment. Things are beginning to unravel, as they do eventually. Alyssa won't even let her guy talk. I mean, this has surely been the problem this whole time. She's doing it on purpose. She's afraid David's going to say something that she doesn't want him to, and she's really trying to control the narrative. I can only imagine how difficult it would be to be in a relationship with Alyssa. I mean, maybe the experts will show her that she won't let him speak. Maybe they'll point it out to her. It's quite obvious to the rest of us. When Beck says, "Am I right or am I right?" I felt this hits the nail on the head. This woman always has to be right. And I mean, there's no reason to fight it. You're never going to win that argument. And so I think this is what's taken the wind out of Danny's sail quite a bit, is this kind of behavior. Tonight, they must decide to stay in the experiment until final vows or leave immediately. It should be an interesting night. When Gia tells Scott she isn't worried about the commitment ceremony, he is. He's terrified. He's terrified about not being able to speak his truth, and he is being suffocated. You can actually see it. Scott would love to get feedback from the experts, from his other peers, but he's afraid it's going to expose Gia, and he wants to protect her because he cares about her so much. But if he says too much, she's going to have another meltdown, and he's going to be the one who has to deal with it. This is the last time the experts are giving the couple's feedback. Alyssa and David are on the couch first, and David speaks first, which is rare. He feels he's carrying most of the emotional weight. He's put his feelings aside in order to keep the peace. A lot of the guys are doing this. I believe Scott's doing this. I believe Danny's doing this. Even Philip did it for a while. I mean, it seems like the right thing to do, but you're never going to work on your relationship if you can't even say what's bothering you. It's just really the lazy decision to go about things this way. But, I mean, they've tried it the other way and they never get anywhere. It's exhausting. And this is why some of the couples are struggling so much here toward the end. Is because they realize, wow, we don't have very much time left and things aren't going the way we want them to right now. It's because neither of them have worked the experiment like they should. They haven't been honest. David always had to ask himself, if he had a concern that he voiced, would it bring up an argument? And most likely it did. Anything little he didn't care so much about, he would just brush it off or sweep it under the rug. But at homestays, Alyssa was so in her head about it, and that's when he felt like Alyssa shuts him down a lot, and he decided that he doesn't want to be treated like that anymore. She actually called him a weak man, which is when I think he really got mad. He really decided, I'm not doing this. I don't like the way she's treating me. He tells the experts, this is what happens. It's not acceptable to be treated like that. He's far from that. But Alyssa knew it would hurt him, and it did. Alyssa tries to spin things differently to make herself look good, but Alyssa has made it clear David isn't enough for her and has let him know it. in no uncertain terms. And David feels very strong for Alyssa. Alyssa wants him to dive in and not hold back. They both want to stay, but a different energy is being presented for sure. This isn't the normal vibe that they give off when they're in front of the experts. Rachel and Stephen are up and both are giddy and their heads are in the clouds. Stephen feels like this beautiful woman has his back. He sees her as a future wife in the real world. They're both feeling connected. It's hard to explain the magnitude of how it feels when you can trust your mate. It's the most wonderful feeling in the world. It's scary, but it's wonderful. Stephen really wants to fix any insecurities that Rachel might have about the relationship, but he knows it's just going to take time, and he really just has to show her, not tell her. And this is really wise of him. These two are in a great place because they built a foundation. And the experts tell him to enjoy this final week. Don't get in your head and just have fun. Everything's going great, so don't question it. Beck and Danny are up next. Beck talks about all the great things that happened during the homestays. But Danny, he's not going to lie. He brings up his joke and how it didn't land well. And Beck left him outside. It made him feel like he didn't belong at that house. These men are all afraid of voicing their feelings, which is hard enough for them. But they're just afraid of their women starting a fight, and they just want to have fun and have a nice, easy time. Does everything have to be an argument? This is why a lot of the men can't say I love you to these women, because they're always fighting with them. Why doesn't Beck feel like Danny is into her? Well, because he has told her he doesn't find her attractive in that way. I mean, she's never going to get that out of her head. I don't care how many times you sleep with her, Danny, or you tell her otherwise. She's going to always remember you giving her like a 2 out of 10. That's never going away. Beck calls Danny out. He doesn't reach for her. He doesn't tell her he loves her. He doesn't pursue her. This is not a man that loves her. We can all see it too. Beck needs someone much more affectionate, and Beck does not want to go to final vows with a man who says maybe. That's not what she wants. And nobody says a word. You could hear a pin drop in that room. Not even Danny knows what to say. The experts don't say anything. Nobody jumps in. A lack of intimacy, no compliments. I mean, these are not building blocks for a strong relationship. Danny explains his past heartbreak destroyed him, and he has built a wall. And by Danny telling the group, well, I'm just a bad boyfriend, it's really just a cop-out. But when he tells the truth about his fear after what happened to him before, I think that changes Beck's feelings about what's going on in the relationship. She's tired of empty promises, but this information was very vulnerable, and she's willing to give him some grace. They both write stay. I don't know, guys. He just doesn't seem that into her. I don't care how many bad relationships you've had in the past. By now, it's been over 2 months. They should be a lot further along. Chris and Sam are up, and this is going to be painful to watch. Chris admits that even though he said leave last week, he instantly regretted saying it. Well, he should have told Sam that. It would have changed everything. It would have been helpful to know. Chris talks of the nice day and the evening that they had, but he forgets to mention that he made Sam sleep in the bunk bed room. And that's important information. He skips over the fact that he left in the morning without even leaving a note. He went to the gym by himself. Sam feels like the turning point was after he called him out. He just decided he wouldn't forgive him. That's what Sam thinks. If only Chris had told him that his feelings were starting to grow back again, things would have gone in a completely different way. Chris claims after their second round of intimacy, it just wasn't there for him. You know, this is why Chris is going to have a hard time in a relationship. I don't believe this was true, but I believe he said it to hurt Sam. And he plays mean. He's a mean girl. And that's what I've never really liked about Chris. And that's why they paired him up with Sam, because Sam is not like that. He's not a gossiper. He's not a mean girl. He is just honest and sweet and kind. And that's exactly who Chris needs if he wants a good, happy relationship. Sam says 90% of the time was great and they had an awesome time together. And you got a smile out of Chris for Sam saying that. That's why I'm saying this relationship didn't have to be over. They just had to get through some things. I just don't think Chris was up to it. It's got too much on his mind. Maybe they'll rekindle something when they get out of the experiment. Who knows? Stella and Philip are up, doing great. Philip loves the energy of Sydney, and he's excited to live there with Stella. It's emotional for them both. Stella tells everyone when a girl feels confident in the relationship, they will be all in. But if they have the slightest bit of doubt that their man is unsure, then their insecurities come out like they're on steroids. And I think this is happening to some of the girls right now. Gia and Scott are up, and Scott is planning to get something off his chest. Wow, he is so nervous. I've never seen him like this. I feel so bad for him. He's so afraid of losing her. He doesn't want to scare her off. Scott doesn't want to throw Gia under the bus, and I wish they would go a little easier on Scott. The experts are being quite harsh. They're saying that he's been fake this whole time and he hasn't been honest about the relationship. I don't think that's fair. Gia says so many hurtful things and never apologizes, and they're trying to get Scott to tell them what kind of things, but he just doesn't want to do that to Gia. This is exactly what Stella talked about. Hurt people hurt people. And that's a lot for Scott to handle, the constant negative behavior that she's given him. It's a pattern, and Gia needs to learn how to break it because it's not healthy and it's not good for the relationship. If you say mean things to your person all the time, I mean, my goodness, that's terrible. Poor Scott, he could barely even talk. He is almost starting to hyperventilate, and Gia's just like, breathe, it's okay. Gia realizes her feelings are stronger for Scott than his are for her. I don't believe this is true. I think he just wants to see some changes before he commits. And I feel like this is resonating with all the girls. When Gia tells Scott he shuts her down when she's expressing her feelings, he immediately tells her, I don't shut you down, Gia. You just did. You just shut her down, and you showed everybody what she's talking about. Good job. John calls him out for being fake. And the other couples have said this time and time again, that they're fake. He tells them they just exposed the real relationship to everybody. He points out that Scott couldn't even breathe in fear of angering Gia. That's not healthy. Are you prepared to do the work? Are you prepared to just exist in this relationship the way it is? They don't have much time. But if they actually took some constructive criticism from the experts, I mean, even for a week or two, that would be helpful. Scott is looking to see how Gia is doing, and she won't even look at him. The next episode is going to be fire. I'm looking forward to it. I think more bombs are going to be dropped. And some of the cracks have been outed in these relationships for everybody to see, and there's no holding back anymore. They just have to dive right in and try to fix some of these problems before it's too late. I will be dropping the next episode really soon. I am hooked. I know you are too. Please watch some of my other videos. I have a really great true crime channel. It is pinned at the end of this video, so go click on there and watch some good stuff. And I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.